please consider supporting the not-so-great Fawful's Minion on Patreon for just $1 a month. Link down in the description. Welcome, my children. Is it not a battlefield night for a curse? It is written in blood and legend that the chortling one returns on the month of 10 to count the down of 10. More of a blessing, but the road we remaster upon now sleeps under a blanket of fog. For the original terror rests under Stop 8. Game devs and myself share a fascination with fear, so revealing our deepest through the great big baddies is a ride we all gotta try. Now that I suck substantially less than I did 7 years ago, I'm more than ready to stare down the faces of evil. A couple notes. This list accounts for both standard enemies and bosses. It favors neither, so basically anything that antagonizes the player and isn't human is qualified. Furthermore, each contender is ranked on how much distress it brings me. So forgive my strange brain for some of the less conventional choices. And finally, try to watch with an open mind. Fear is deep, complex, and unpredictable, so expecting my picks to match your opinion, it just isn't gonna happen. Most of us are here for fun. Try to be one of them. So, kill those lights, You ever look at an enemy and suddenly want to cuddle the plague? Yeah, big mood. It's times like this where petty prejudging can actually save your life, cause unassuming is the new yeah. Some enemies flash a bad signal right away. You don't know why. They're just creepers.
Ah! You broke it!
Oh, what's that? That sucked? Thank you. Each expedition across, through, and around the blocks fills the one called Steve with much fun, much reward, and much fear. Minecraft survival mode, don't dance around no screws. The isolation induced only makes the presence of monsters all the more imposing. Skeletons may be adept at rage quit archery and endermen are just unsettling in general, but creepers are experts at teaching hearts how to backflip. Score 1 for the creep. This freak of nature is what happens when you feed your piñata gunpowder, a sleeper hit amongst all the popular scary enemies. The mine in Minecraft is a mob unmatched in intimidation. Like a tiptoeing nuke, it creeps along silently, waiting for you to blunder within exploding range. Death comes quietly and quickly. It will one-shot any armorless sap caught in it, which means complete inventory and motivation deletion. That's a yikes from me, pal. I like to compare creepers to bears in the woods. Probably not gonna run right into them, and even if you do, there's lots of precautions to help avoid the bad news. But holy jeez, watch out. The simplicity of it all leaves this brutally effective feeling of dread and high alert. Anxiously turn around corners, never stand in one spot, cause ain't no 8-bit Shrek sausage gonna TNT my face. Dinner's ready.
What'll do?
Personal space.
Awesome, I'm starved.
No, I didn't make enough. Gotta love how colorful your senses are. Sight's a noble leader, smells the impulsive nut, tastes got a thing for art, and touch, drama queen. Although hearing has problems. You ever notice how easy it is to be scared by sounds? Because it's so attached to imagination, your nerves disintegrate at the mercy of any sound you don't like. No. No! No! Chalk this one up as ruthlessly specific. One of the more, let's call it, interesting enemy archetypes is the infamous RUN monster. There must be some secret primal exploitation course in the studies of game design, because far more than one prankster pursuing that career choice knows exactly where the panic trigger is. You know what I'm talking about. Those deliberately overpowered enemies designed to chase you for free, typically invincible for plot reasons. The Stalker, as I like to call it, abuses our ancient fears of helplessness and claustrophobia, just playing around and then oop! Now you're a bald, crippled hamster trapped in a fiery maze with hungry, magical land sharks. Having fun yet? Oh, and remember what I said about sound? Yeah, it goes triple for these guys. Most of them curse the soundtrack with their very presence, with their own creepy music to scare the daylights out of you, a la Michael effing Myers. See Resident Evil's Nemesis, Prince of Persia's Dahaka, Kid Icarus's Orn. It's admirable in a sick, twisted kind of way to take note of such effective, diabolical design. Kind of reminds me why I love the iconic horror villains. It's really smart, even if it ruins your clean pants. I hate you, but if I don't respect you, I die. Probably the best news any enemy could ever hear. Don't mess with animals. Cute. Beautiful. Insignificant. Dangerous. Can't pick just one. Bundle only. Plenty of Earth's creatures could JV3 us and catch dinner at the same time. Just show me a picture of a crocodile and I lurch. Actual man-eaters. Maybe don't make a game about giant killer reptiles. Just my thought. Yeah. Good talk. No, I'm not going back in that water. You got guts? Show me up then. It likes the taste. At the risk of miffing off the hardcore hunters out there, I still have a hard time playing the Monster Hunter games. My distaste for the clunky controls aside, this is why! God! Capcom really bit down hard with the Leviathans. The bone I had to pick with their third core Monster Mash is now the flagship beast's favorite toothpick. Say hello to Godzilla's baby mama. Laggy's a real sweetie, I tell you what. Always looking out for you. A shockingly good cook. And she gives the best kisses. Although, there's a reason she's single. She's freaking terrifying! Every design choice they slapped on Leviathans courts the nerves with a taser knife. Aggressive, cunning, huge, the devil's eyes, laced with thunder, and boasts an aura of prehistory's most horrific and deadly aquatic reptiles. Like, imagine if Thor had a pet Sarcosuchus and fed it nothing but Popeye spinach and 5 gum. Can I pet her? Sure, yeah, the series is filled with scary monsters. That's the whole point. But what solidifies Try's Trophy Beast as my pick is how it looms over. It's talked up a lot throughout the game. It has 2 insanely powerful variants, and it jumps you 10 minutes in. Yeah, throw the preschooler to the Crocs, and make sure he's wearing top sirloin underwear. I still don't get the grand appeal of zombies. They eat flesh. So do animals. They walk slowly. Grandpa says hi. They, look unsightly. Have you seen me in the morning? Yeah, pretty stock design. But they do often push a truly terrifying concept. Infection. The virus spreads, further burying your hope and humanity. Yay. And in space? Double yay. Can't spell fear without EA. Yeah. But I'm after the old school kind of cringe. The thesaurus in my pants begs for a line to be drawn somewhere. Well, how about across my throat? A dead man can't get sick. Hold my beer, says Dead Space. By all means, I shouldn't even flinch at the Necromorphs. All the exposure to trashy zombie content across the decades leaves you with much num-num. While there's such a thing as going too far in one direction, while it's not one I typically favor, the distance they traveled legitimately makes me sick. Gruesomely theorized as an omen of humanity's rapid ascent. Space's hot fix to this petty problem was mutation on an omniversal scale, exposing all to the enigmatic markers and turned them into the freakiest zombies I've ever seen. By a landslide. Yeah, I know they can come from living bodies, but come on! Don't tell me they're not dead now! Observe the biology, friends. Deformed frame, butchered innards, extra limbs that look like spider legs with scythes on them. And that's only the base form. Indestructible regenerators, rotten bloated baby grenades, and mother of he who carries double hockey sticks. A literal undead moon with tentacles. It's disgusting and shocking just how far they took the premise. Necromorphs are so loyal to the whole infect them all theme, it's legitimately petrifying to even the most stubborn horror snobs. It's what you'd get if you let John Carpenter design the human race. Ever wonder why fears are so hard to face? I mean, they're just scary thoughts. Surely you don't need a backhand to slay them. Killing something you created, yeah, easy. A lot of the things we're afraid of are formed from illusion, our own answers to the worst of dwindling hope and self-punishment. Count your blessings it doesn't come in physical form. Boy, do I got some great news for you! Free cuddles! Get your free cuddles here! Please? 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 Words are hard to come by these days. Makes you wonder why. Is it stupidity? Anxiety, or a giant bloody buster sword? I'm not a fan of Silent Hill by and large, but even I can't run away from its most maligned abomination. History's been feeding you lies. You built the pyramids atop the darkest of your inner essence. The eldritch uncle of Shy Guy, Pyramid Head, is a nauseating display of malevolent symbolism. The hideous manifestation of protagonist James Sunderland's desire for punishment after killing his terminally ill wife. This imposing shape of self-torture is the reason the hill is silent. The shock of it all is so demanding. It's honestly hard to scream. While its behavior and appearance aren't personally up to snuff with the contenders ahead, the idea of Pyramid Head is competitive. Without question, it's a monster entirely fueled on realistic mental maladies, regret, self-loathing, depression, emotional anarchy sparked by loss, or even just the fear of it. It's especially no surprise that many alive today are scared stiff of this thing. It hits home hard enough to be vandalism. Love yourselves, guys. I mean it. You know the freaky thing about your shadow? It always looks bigger than you. How interesting that even as the light shines over, the one forever behind you towers over. Me? I think it's a warning of existential repeal. Wherever you lie, be it a lamb in a herd of lions, or the dominant force in your realm, balance will prevail and swap the halves. Nothing like an omniscient alien menace to remind you that your job sucks! SAX. That's a funny way to spell E for everyone. I'm never gonna stop acclaiming Metroid Fusion as the Odysseus of action-adventure thrillers it rightfully is. For its simplified ingenuity and cunning in the art of intensity gave birth to what's easily the scariest entity in all of Metroid, deriving from an entire race of vile terrors. The Exis Supreme Soldier made everyone remember this game in the worst nightmare any apex predator could ever be haunted by. The SAX turned the greatest hunter into the unlikeliest hunted. In one fell swoop, this harrowing blob brought Samus to near death, assimilated all of her powers, assumed her likeness, and turned the BSL station into a horror movie set. The attack left Samus so weak and vulnerable. The roles see a terrifying reversal as the nigh invincible space pest stalks, manipulates, and pensively tortures the now puny, pathetic bounty hunter. Despite overlapping with the Stalker design, it's the frightening twist on dominance and devious power struggles that push this nasty doppelganger above and beyond. It builds horror game tension better than most horror games, and it just needs one sound to keep us quivering. The footsteps. Oh my god, the footsteps! And excuse me, how many? It will never be easy to wake up. Dreams unravel our minds into a personalized blur of visions too powerful for reality. But we don't always wield that power. Nightmares can effortlessly turn everyday rest into what feels like on and off death. As if something takes us, tortures us in the one place where we're always alone. Yeah, hi. Evanescence? You might want to sit down for this. Come here, eyes. Roll over. Good boy. Despite its successful attempts to shave a year or two off my lifespan, the Cothinator Superstar Scarebear still collects respect from me. It was hard picking just one animatronic for this job, but despite Springtrap's nebulous follies, Nightmare is what snacks on my psyche. I can hardly even with this man. In what feels like a push to sissify every other drip of Five Nights horror, this deathly dream demon transforms the realm beyond the pillow into something even the worst can't handle. Look at this. It's got all the nope. Red glow-in-the-dark eyes, fur that's been passed through 12 cemeteries, Kruger patented claws, a jigsaw trap for a stomach, and just this cruel, seething stare. Barring the looks, cause holy shit, the teethage is real. It's the presence in-game and ultimate meaning behind the blackest bear that qualifies it as the gatekeeper of top 3. Its infernal attack pattern and abuse of FNAF 4's terrifying sound design sauces me up with feral anxiety and hopeless jitters before scarfing down my soul. Make it go away. But it's the finest details that carve Nightmare into my skin. Think about what it does. A gruesome, skeletal shadow that haunts a terminally wounded child and wayward sinner for his irredeemable acts of child experimentation and murder. It's a reaper, a reminder of our great fear of death, the eternal sleep.
What is left of you?
I may never hold a teddy bear again. You've heard me ask, what is it you fear most? Now, I follow with, where is it you fear most? Easy answer for me. The ocean. Our planet's darker, more dominant 71% is where nightmares come to sleep. More mysterious than space. More terrifying than anything we know. For all we know, it might not even have a bottom. Would you explore it? Yeah, it'll be fun! Are you kidding me? Okay. Deep breaths. Been biding my time for the perfect opportunity to highlight Subnautica, and, can I tag out? Meet the Leviathans, the layman's term for giant monster. Every one of the 6 living units of this elite breed turned this fantastic game into a cold, savage nightmare. No matter the size, no matter the temperament, every spawn of bad future timeline Neptune constricts my nerves like the clingiest giant squid. Lower on the fear list are the defensive, moderately sized sea treader, Shudder, Titanic softy that is the reefback, yikes, and surprisingly, the skyscraper-long benevolent sea emperor. I hate this! But even Jules frackin' Verne couldn't witness the horror of the aggressive Leviathans without entering shock the Reaper, Sea Dragon, and especially Ghost Leviathans. Makes me want to snuggle Bruce the Shark while coated in chum. This is why no one likes you, Aquaman. You let this happen. Everything from the way they move, sound, look. It's like they took all the bad dreams every sailor ever tortured themselves to sleep to and painted them over the deep, dark blackness of Earth's mutilated soul. The gaze of a ghost Leviathan could freeze Cthulhu in its tracks. Wake me up! And to think, there was once one of these things nearly a mile long. Few things fuel the fear stronger than misplaced faith. To loan your strongest feelings to a would-be champion of your trust, only for it to be fed through a blood-stained mood chipper, is a reality much, much scarier than fiction. Although, fiction loves to raise those hairs all the same. You know, when there's no actual stakes, why not drive it clean through our heart containers? First, they took our breath. Now, it's back for the rest! Color me very impressed. Not only has my favorite Zelda game been put into question, but the nigh unrivaled masters of Hyrulean horror have finally been thwarted after 3 decades of prolific blood-curdling. The floor and wall masters have finally met their match. I'm not even kidding when I say the Guardians are the new scariest monsters in the Zelda universe, created by the suspiciously gifted Sheikah tribe to do war in the defense of Hyrule against the primordial Ganon. These autonomous terrors stand as a sinister symbol of world-shattering betrayal and apocalypse. What could turn a proud kingdom of light into dead, silent wilderness? A fleet full of giant laser-blasting robot Octoroks, of course! In one of the most horrific nightmares of modern humanity, technology overtakes biology when it's depended on most. Hyrule's greatest defenders turned into their ultimate demise through Ganon's dark influence. That's profoundly terrifying. What ranks the Guardians so high is that they embody such a real fear. Not to mention their unholy fiends in gameplay, their gigantic sightlines, inescapable hostility, do-or-die power, and the dreaded piano keys. Note to self: burn all devices! I'll preach it until I drop dead. Not knowing a lot about something that feels wrong is true horror. Perchance the scariest thing ever. Our desperate search for all the W's is the titleless horror show we're all doomed to attend. You think I want to? I've lost my mind for what? Chilled my spine for where? Now, at last, for why? Come, take what's left. Oftentimes, it helps to think before you act. No, don't! Thinking only makes it stronger. Any glance given to Pikmin's apex monstrosity is primed to be gored by the unknown's ruthless jaws, and not a sound would be heard. Don't let Pikmin 3's Plasm Wraith fool you. This thing is soaked in some of the most disturbing behavior and undertones any video game creature can manifest. The tragic coincidence of Olimar's original crash landing has spiraled into a sinister theme plaguing any and all captains that dare fly by PNF 404. Something wants us here, all but confirmed by the trilogy's end that the Plasm Wraith is indeed the cause of the shipwrecks. Red flag right out of the gate! You're telling me there's a gravity-modding monster out to forsake my freedom? Am I just a fly in the spider's web? You know, I'm already freaked out. Mind dialing it back? Funny man, this already ominous enemy raises the nope even higher with mythological basis. You know what this thing's called in Japanese? Amiibozu. Like Umibozu? The aqueous ghost of Japanese legend? Yeah, I'm a Jellicent fan. This icon of folklore is greatly feared for stories of it shipwrecking vessels at sea. And what does it want? To kill the captain. Stop! Stop being creepy! The status quo of its mythological drive dictates that the Plasm Wraith is essentially the main antagonist of the series, playing the part of Kraken, dragging us down to a horrible death. That's the idea, but the consistent nuances turn this into something even creepier. Its behavior in Pikmin 3 is straight up scary. Having finally caught Olimar, the Plasm Wraith doesn't actually kill him. It mothers him. Overprotectively, even consciously activated the forced sleep mode in his spacesuit to keep him from escaping and slowly killing him through exhaustion. That's dark. No, that's evil. I'm starting to feel sick just knowing that this freaky, wobbly devil silently looms over you through every game is haunting. And I'll tell you what, the transparent threads puppeted by the Plasm Wraith's unending influence effectively snares my imagination and drags it where no other enemy can. Is it an evolved form of the Gulix and Water Wraith? Like how water slowly forms into organic matter, skin, protoplasm? Has it been learning with each defeat? Or is it their mother, so desperate for primal maternity that it fosters their killer? How and why can it spawn the planet's wildlife and elements? Why is it here? How is it still alive? What will it turn into next? Stop! Give me back my brain! The Plasm Wraith is #1 on my list because of how much it's changed how I feel when playing Pikmin. Its disturbing behavior, uncanny design, and mysterious air of dominance. Everything about it just feels so wrong. Even if it wasn't such blatant theory bait, I'd still stick to my guns. Fear is golden. This is being Fawful's Minion. Fly safely. Thanks for watching, guys. Give it up for the high-tier patrons. Shade 2800, Jordan Osceola, Tubazo 1989, You Can't See Martin 19, Crazy Quillman 157, James Ward, Diamond Ice, Raw is Jimbo, Skellington 977, Mathtron 5000, Luke Razor, Goldsbro TSG, Thomas Drury, Spark of Dusk 777, Cole the Wren's Castle, Jurway, Sensei Spyro, Inkling Gamer, Alfredo Jones, Green Moonlight, Jacob Dunn, Senti Espion, Lucario Smash 246, God Falking Dammit, Chibi Emiko, Sephi 90, Green Dragon 53, Maple Man 22, Minty Coffee 0Z, Smash Mario Pro 2000, Roberto Del Fuego, Solitaire Seamus, Grandmaster Augustus, Zack Attacker, and Scavvy. Happy Halloween!